Good evening. Stories making headlines this evening. Maritime enforcers out to bid a fish bombing, and Felda settlers' lands to become big estates. I'm Adrian Seedy watching the 7 p.m. news on 2. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, together with other relevant agencies, will be intensifying operations to combat fish bombing in Sabah waters. MMEA Sabah Director Rear Admiral Kamaruzaman Abu Hassan said that since May, the agency has undertaken special operations in the waters of Kota Belud, in Mantanani and Gaya Islands to curb the menace. Now, elaborating further in a statement released today, Rear Admiral Kamaruzaman said the operations were carried out following public complaints and intelligence which found that fish bombings were being practiced in the areas and diving activities could not be performed. He also said MMEA also holds meetings with related parties frequently, and because fish bombings issues is considered a serious issue. Investigations also revealed that the practice is done by illegal immigrants and their settlements have also been identified. Meanwhile, Kamaruzaman said the MMEA would also continue to work together with the Eastern Sabah Security Command, or ESCOM, to mobilize assets and human resources so that the efforts to curb the activities go smoothly. He said the incident that left 2 foreign tourists and a local dive instructor dead recently due to the activity has shocked the maritime authorities, and hence the need to up the fight against the fish bombing practice. Meanwhile, Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafie Apdal said stern actions will be taken, including imposing a stiff penalty on fishermen found using bombing methods to fish in Sabah waters. He said the use of fish bombs in the state has been going on for quite a while, and hence a stern action must be taken to combat such activities.
Selaku Ahli Parlimen Sempurna dah suarakan berulang kali dalam perkara ini bagaimana untuk cuba mengatasinya, dan kita yakin bahawa tindakan tegas ini perlu diambil.
The Sabah Chief Minister also said the use of fish bombs must be banned, and there should be further investigations on how fishermen obtain explosives to make the fish bombs in order to concretely solve the problem. He also asked the local residents to cooperate with authorities if they have information on fishermen practicing fish bombing. According to him, the fish bombing method does not benefit anyone in the long run, as it affects the marine ecosystem and human health. The Johor government is drawing up a sustainable town development plan for Pasir Gudang as a long-term measure to address environmental pollution in the area. Now, Menteri Besar Dato' Dr. Shahruddin Jamal said this would involve studying the possibility of relocating high-risk chemical factories and creating a buffer zone between the industrial and residential areas.
Dan kita juga menyokong 6 tindakan segera yang dipertahankan oleh Yang Berhormat Kementerian Tenaga, Sains, Teknologi, Alam Sekitar dan Perubahan Iklim (MESTEK) dalam sidang parlimen baru-baru ini. Antaranya ia mewujudkan stesen pengawasan gas pencemar toksin automatik, pembelian alat pengukur gas bergerak, dan mewajibkan premis industri memasang alat pemantauan pelepasan sisa bahan kimia.
During his winding-up speech at the State Assembly sitting today, he also said that the Johor government is serious in addressing the pollution problem in Pasir Gudang and will set up 2 committees to monitor the pollution situation in the area. One of the committees, he said, is a Technical and Scientific Working Committee that will coordinate, monitor and track the impact that will occur in Pasir Gudang. In addition, he said the committee will have representatives from the various technical departments and experts from University Technology Malaysia, or UTM. He said that there would be a monitoring committee which will be represented by elected representatives of non-governmental organizations, parent-teacher associations and the Pasir Gudang Emergency Mutual to provide the latest status on pollution in Pasir Gudang. Elaborating further, Dato' Dr. Shahruddin said these 2 committees will meet periodically and report directly to the state, local government, urban well-being and environmental committee chairman every month. On claims that he had not taken seriously the pollution issue in Pasir Gudang, Dr. Shahruddin said the state government did not consider the problem petty and had allocated 6.4 million ringgit for cleaning of toxic waste in Sungai Kim Kim. Pulau Pinang Fisheries Department Resources Protection Division arrested 4 trawlers in 2 different locations. Now, the arrest was made at approximately 1:20 a.m. in 2 separate operations in the waters of Pulau Kendi and Pulau Rimau. According to Pulau Pinang Fisheries Director Nur Aisha Abu Bakar, the arrests were made as a result of public complaints and intelligence gathered over 3 consecutive days. Also arrested were 3 skippers and 9 crew members for carrying out trawl towing activities in a prohibited zone.
Bot-bot tersebut menunda di kawasan kurang daripada 15 batu nautika yang mana ia merupakan di luar kawasan yang telah ditetapkan untuk bot pukat tunda zon C. Okay. Dan bot tersebut telah dibawa ke Pengkalan Batu Maung untuk siasatan lanjut oleh pihak kami.
Nur Aisha said 3 of the detainees are locals while the rest are citizens of Thailand. A total of 700 kilograms of fish of various types was seized, bringing the total value of the seizure, including a boat, to exceed 2 million ringgit. The case is investigated under the Fisheries Act of 1985, and if found guilty, they could be fined up to a maximum of 6,000 ringgit and have their license suspended for 1 year, in addition to having their fishing gear confiscated. For the first 6 months of this year, a total of 14 arrests were successfully carried out. Now, police arrested 3 suspects involved in robbery cases of a 24-hour surveillance store and a grocery in Terengganu and Kuala Lumpur. The suspects included a woman in her 20s and 2 men who lived in Kuala Lumpur, all 3 who were detained after police tracked their vehicles via GPS application.
Yang perempuan ni makan masuk dulu untuk bertanya kepada penjual tu dan diikuti dengan 2 lelaki ni yang pakai topeng pada muka dan bersertakan pisau. Dan mereka balik ke Kuala Lumpur dan strike lagi 4 kedai dan sebelum mereka menyewa hotel di rumah di Sayang.
The suspects used an Azia car rented from Serdang to commit the robberies. According to Terengganu Police Chief Dato' Aidi Ismail, the suspects robbed a 7-Eleven at Ladang and a grocery store in Kuala Terengganu. He said the crimes were committed on the 5th of July at 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. In addition, Dato' Aidi said urine test results also found that all suspects are positive for drug use. And coming up next, a Jenyang project to address Mada irrigation issues. That's Sorry up next. You're watching News on 2. The news continues. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the government plans to merge Felda settlers' lands to become big estates that can generate a lucrative income for them through more efficient and professional management. Now, he said this type of management was practiced by huge estates belonging to foreigners since the time of the British colonial administration, which enabled them to make profits even when commodity prices dropped. Through the margins were small, apart from not having to depend on subsidies. Now, Tun Dr. Mahathir, however, said the efforts to convince Felda settlers to go down this road might be difficult in the beginning, especially with the first-generation settlers who are now mostly above 60 years of age.
Kebanyakan broker ini sudah lebih umur, lebih dari 60. Kerana mereka menjadi peluka awal lagi. Jadi untuk dia nak tukar cara tu susah sikit. Tetapi dia owner of land. Kalau land dia tu di amalgamated supaya dapat satu kawasan yang lebih luas, and it is managed by professional estate managers. Saya yakin kita akan dapat mengeluarkan lebih banyak hasil, dan hasil ini akan dibahagikan mengikut saiz tanah yang dia kontribut.
Speaking after launching the Felda Settlers Day 2019 celebration in Felda, Selancar Tiga today, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the profits can be distributed according to the size of the land they contribute, and the settlers can work with the management of the running of the estates or obtain income based on the land size. Now, in addition, Tun Dr. Mahathir said that he was of the view that this should have been done some time back, and towards this end, Felda would embark on this model where the settlement is at least 404 hectares in size. Moreover, he said the Felda management should no longer depend solely on palm oil or rubber, as was being practiced now, so that the settlers' income was not badly affected when the prices of the commodities dropped. On another note, Tun Dr. Mahathir also announced an allocation of 637 million ringgit to implement 3 projects in Pahang, namely a 106 million litres per day water tank for the Gebeng industrial area, valued at 173 million ringgit, and phase 3 of the Semambu water treatment plant, with a capacity of 145 million litres per day, 446 million ringgit both in Kuantan, as well as the project to overcome clean water supply disruption in Raub, 18 million ringgit.
Sebagai sebuah kerajaan yang prihatin dan akan keperluan infrastruktur masyarakat, kita telah meluluskan peruntukan sebanyak 637 juta bagi 3 projek di negeri Pahang.
The official visit to the state is the first for Tun Dr. Mahathir since becoming Prime Minister for the second time in the 14th general election of last year. Economic Affairs Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali said Felda will rise up again with the confidence of settlers restored, that their future will be secured under the Pakatan Harapan government. He said the government's commitment to bring back the glory of Felda could be seen by the Settlers Development Programme, or PPP, launched by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. The PPP, which includes intercropping that is capable of delivering results in a short period of time and generate more income for Felda settlers, was launched by the Prime Minister at the national level Felda Settlers Day 2019 celebrations at Felda Selancar Tiga in Rompin, Pahang today.
Kita percaya dengan keluasan tanah Felda yang cukup luas, dengan sumbangan dan tenaga peneroka Felda yang bekerja kuat, dan dengan pengurusan yang cekap, insya-Allah Felda akan muncul sekali lagi sebagai agensi yang berwibawa.
Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin said Felda, under the leadership of its founder, the late Tun Abdul Razak Hussein, who was also Malaysia's second Prime Minister, managed to help reduce the Bumiputra economic gap with other races through the opening of government land, which at one time allowed the country to contribute 25% of world palm oil production. He also said the appointment of Tan Sri Muhammad Baqir Saleh as Felda's new chairman, effective 1st of July 2019, was seen to be capable of bringing the agency to a new level with the help and support from the grassroots settlers. Now, the minister further noted the PPP would ensure a more sustainable future and safeguard the well-being of the settlers, as well as play a role to see that the plantation industry keeps advancing and increase productivity through the use of modern technology. Irrigation issues involving Muda Agriculture Development Authority, or MADA, will be addressed through the Jerniang Transfer Project, which is expected to be fully completed in 10 years. Now, the move is one of the initiatives of the Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry, or MOA, in the face of climate change, which may affect agricultural, irrigation and drainage systems that do not have an impact on food production. According to Minister Dato Salahuddin Ayub, a variety of alternative uses of existing water resources will also be used effectively to meet agriculture needs. The National Association of Irrigation and Drainage Malaysia, or MANSID, are also encouraged to assist in providing a platform to introduce agricultural irrigation modernization technology.
Saya juga mengharapkan Kementerian Ekonomi dapat melihat dari segi bajet jika sekiranya kita perlu untuk meningkatkan bajet kita pada masa akan datang. Dan kita akan cuba untuk mengoptimumkan semua agensi-agensi kita supaya dalam isu sama ada kemarau ataupun dalam isu banjir nanti, isu irrigation dan drainage ini dapat kita atasi dengan sebaik mungkin.
Dato' Salahuddin said this during a press conference after officiating the 23rd Irrigation and Drainage Annual Conference in Johor Bahru in Johor. Meanwhile, Dato' Salahuddin also suggested participating in the World Irrigation Conference in Bali in September. This would be in line with the ministry's aim to improve modern agricultural production to ensure the stability of the nation's food supply as well as its prices. In other news, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Ibni Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, said the country's education system should play a vital role in promoting unity amongst various races in the country. His Majesty also said that the spirit of unity should start in schools. Now, commenting further on the matter, Sultan Ibrahim said there should also be effort to promote good values such as peace and harmony amongst the people, with an emphasis on history to strengthen the people's identity. His Majesty also believe that the education system plays an important role to spur unity in the country. Sultan Ibrahim said this after a courtesy call from Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik at his office in Istana Pasir Pelangi in Johor Bahru. Sultan Ibrahim, via his official Facebook page, also emphasized the importance of children having a good command of the English language without neglecting the use of Bahasa Malaysia. On to sports. The 2019 Super League champions, Johor Darul Ta'zim or JDT, continued their winning streak with a 3-0 crushing of Perak at Stadium Perak in Ipoh last night. Now, JDT confirmed their 6th consecutive title last week after collecting 49 points from 19 matches. Take a look. Elsewhere, Petaling Jaya City FC or PJ City FC suffered a 2-1 loss to Malacca United at Petaling Jaya City Council Stadium in Kelana Jaya. PJ City FC struck early with Pedro Henrique in the 12th minute before Malacca bounced back to net 2 goals in succession, both in the first half. Luka Milunovic scored in the 36th minute before Zhang Suk won in the 45th minute. The win meant Zainal Abidin Hassan's Malacca squad claimed the 4th spot on the league table with 29 points, while PJ City stayed at 9th in danger of being in the relegation zone with 3 matches remaining. And that item concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, maritime enforcers out to rid fish bombing. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates. I'm Adrian Seat. Thanks for watching.